Hello, friends. Nice having you all here today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time, or you've been viewing but you've not subscribed, please take this time to hit on the subscribe button, also the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, I want to say thank you for subscribing. Please not forget to hit on the like button. Friends, it's a very big tragedy and it's really sad. When you get to hear what really happened, it's going to break your heart. This incident took place in Ogun State, Nigeria. The young man you're seeing there, he is a pastor and he's known as Pastor Isaac Akimbola. He is 50 years old. The two women by his side on the right hand side is known as Esther Olowolayemi. She's 29 years old. And the second lady by the left hand side is known as Oluwakemi Osibanjo. She's 30 years old. These two women were sent by this pastor to go to his own matrimonial home. But first, friends, let me just start and let you know what led to this man sending these two women to his own home. In some situations, wives or mothers will always meet their husbands and tell them about what they are feeling inside, or if they are having suspicion over certain things, they usually tell their husbands. And we find out that in more than 80% of what a woman is telling her husband about what she's feeling, in most cases, it turns out to be true. There's this thing, is like it's a gift that God has given to mothers. Once they see things or they start having feeling about something is wrong or something is about to happen, they tend to end up having those things coming to reality. That was how this woman started having a very bad feeling about her husband. And the feeling was that her husband is having an affair with some of the church members. Definitely, you wouldn't expect any woman at all who is having such feeling or who is suspecting her husband of having an affair to just keep quiet. She would lay it before her husband so that he can either say something or defend himself if it's not true. And that's exactly what his wife did. She had to go meet the husband and she expressed her concern and her worries to him. Like, I'm not comfortable with regards to what I am hearing or what I'm feeling about your relationship that is not right with some of the ladies in church. Definitely wouldn't expect any man who is cheating to outrightly tell his wife that yes, I am cheating. No man, it's rare. It's on very, very rare occasion you will see a man admit that he's cheating when he's actually really cheating and he's been confronted by his wife. In this case, this pastor declined and tried to let the wife know that she's only getting things wrong and all of that. Unknown to the wife that the husband had another plan entirely for her, because he had already confronted him and tried to let him know that you are into relationships that are not good, you're a married man and all. This man sent these two women to his house to go and beat up his wife. Who does that? Aside from the fact that he's even a pastor, how many men would even do this to their own wives? No matter how bad the wife is, you barely hear that a man will send people to go and beat up his wife. Even if he doesn't like that woman, or if the woman is making him unhappy at home, the least he would do is to go and hang out with other women outside and not come back to the house. But sending people to go and beat up your wife, I'm sure a lot of men would disagree with this and would not be in support, because this is a very big assault on a woman. And friends, do you know, to make matters worse, this woman is carrying an 8 months old baby. 8 months old. That's how these people stormed there. They didn't storm there on their own. Guys, the husband, who is the pastor, went with these women. That was how they started beating his wife. The man stood in the background and kept on telling the women, you should beat her up mercilessly. That was how they beat this lady, and she was carrying the baby. These women didn't even consider, even the husband himself, being the father of this child, didn't even think of, oh, the child is there for him to, okay, you want them to beat your wife. Is he not looking at that little baby that the woman was carrying? All his concern was these other ladies should beat up this woman to pop, and they kept on beating her. In the process, this woman was holding the baby. That's how the baby fell down to the ground. They kept on, it was so sad because the husband stood in the background there with the women and kept on telling these women to beat him up. And friends, funny enough, these same women are the women that the husband has been suspecting him to be having an affair, and they're also members of his own church. The question is, what kind of a pastor is this? And what kind of church members is he putting up together in the church? When you see things like this, that's when you start questioning so many things happening. You'll be like, is this person really serving God? What does this person do with his congregation? If he can take his congregation, some of them, to come and beat up his wife, and at the same time, these are people he's having an illicit relationship with. And all of this started because your wife confronted you, and that led to an argument between him and his wife, because he got upset that his wife is accusing him of having a relationship with some of the women in the church. And then the best way for this man is for him to send them to beat his wife up. This is a very, very horrible and painful act. I'm sure a lot of men that have seen this would never support this man, not one bit at all. No matter how bad your wife is, to send someone to beat her up, and to make matters worse, she's having 8 months old baby. He didn't even think of it. If it's another person, he would even like, okay, let him even take the baby away from her and let them beat her. He committed a very big crime. Sending those women to beat his wife in the first place is the highest crime ever. To make it worse is a child is even involved. It is just so sad. Beating the wife is not even acceptable at all. Why is it that some men don't even consider the peace of their own spouse? All they're after is what will make them happy, or the women they will be with that will make them happy. This actually happened in Mamu Ijebu. And after they had beaten this woman up mercilessly, she now reported to the police. She is known as Deshola Akimbola. That is the wife of the pastor. And she told the police that while they were beating her, that was when her 8 months old baby fell down. And the baby's name is Obadiah. So when this child had fallen to the ground, the husband didn't even care. It's okay, let him take the baby up from the ground. Immediately, they now rushed the child to the hospital when the cops had arrived with the woman, because she was beaten mercilessly. So the woman had to pick up her strength to ensure she go to the police to report what had happened. And that was when they came to the house and rushed the woman and her baby to the hospital so that they can start receiving treatment. They were taken to the Blessed Hospital at Oru Ijebu, where it was discovered that the baby had sustained internal injury when he fell to the ground with his head. Isn't this so painful? And the child just gave up his ghost because he couldn't survive the pains he was going through. Meanwhile, they were trying to treat him to see if they can bring this child back to life, but unfortunately, the child didn't survive it. Right now, the remains of this little innocent child has been deposited at the General Hospital at Ijebu Igbo Mortuary for autopsy. Friends, this is a very, very painful incident. When kids are involved in issues that has to do with their parents and they're less concerned about the baby, that is what makes matters very worse and terrible. These two women coming there, didn't they see that child? For them to even think of this child, at least for the sake of this child, to have even not lay hands on this woman, but they went ahead to obey the instruction given to them by their pastor. And according to the wife, like I said earlier, these are the women that the wife suspected him to be having an illicit relationship with, that led to an argument between her and her husband. And he decided that the best way for him to respond to his wife is by sending those same ladies to beat her up. So now what has he gained? But as I speak with you, the husband, that's Pastor Akimbola, and the two women have been arrested. However, the State Commissioner of Police, that's CP Lanre Bankole, has also ordered the immediate transfer of this suspects, that's these 3 people, to the homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department for further investigation, with the view of arranging them in court as soon as investigations are concluded. It's a very painful incident leading to the death of their child. This man, being whom he is, all he wanted was for his own satisfaction and his own peace and happiness. A lot of people are blasting the pastor right now and saying, so for the sake of your illicit relationship, you decided to go and beat up your wife to the point of losing your own son. And he didn't even care. He wasn't even bothered about it. He wasn't even bothered at all. Because if this man was bothered, the first thing he would have done was even take the child away from the woman, if he really had the love and the care for his child. But obviously he did not, and that's why he didn't mind what would happen. 8 months old baby, that's still a very tender child. It's so painful. And you as a pastor, shouldn't you have known better? Then what is he preaching? And those congregations, those ladies, why will you decide to do that kind of a thing? In the first place, you are in the wrong. Having an affair with another woman's husband, it's even a complete mistake on their path. If this is true, that they are having this relationship with this pastor and they still came back here to beat up this woman, it means that these ladies are very heartless. All right, let's assume they were not even in a relationship. It's all false. That maybe it's mere rumor that was spread about them and they got so mad. Will they still beat up this woman carrying a baby? That is the question that is being asked out there. So these women never even felt sorry. How can two people beat up one person carrying a child? This is so inhuman. But we're glad that they've all been arrested and they will definitely face charges for the murder of this child, because this is total murder. Friends, please, whatever you think about this, you could put that down at the comment section. Nice having you all here today. Please, before you leave, for those of you that have not subscribed, hit on the subscribe button, also the notification bell, so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you. God bless you all.